Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 5th day of games here in the GGvision Liquid Colosseum with me, Sebastian Sjoberg, and our champion, our Gladiator of the week,
Liquid HerO!
Here spawning as the red Protoss player in the 5 o'clock-ish starting position of Backwater Gulch, a map I do know and love. His opponent is none other than KeenMVP as the blue Terran in the opposite lower left corner. KeenMVP you should know about. He is participating in the GSL code S here now in August, and I'm sure you have followed him throughout his Starcraft 2 career. He is the business, a very good Terran player indeed, and looking on his Liquipedia statistics, it says that he has as an idol the Brood War legend HayprO, and if you were around during those days, you know that's a good thing. HayprO was as fearsome in-game as it was bad manner out of it, and that was always a fun show. Perhaps we'll see some of that action from Keen in this game, but he's definitely a player that is very notable and should provide lots of entertainment and challenges for Liquid HerO. Going now for barracks first here. Not on his ramp, interestingly. Similarly, HerO chooses to place his warp gate very close to his nexus. We've seen this previously, and there are advantages, but you always leave yourself susceptible for early attack. Quick gas going down for our Liquid HerO. Meanwhile, we see nothing of the sort from Keen, so will this be a fast expansion build or something entirely different? We'll just have to see, but Backwater Gulch is very big, so quick rushes, they're perhaps more difficult to pull off. Keen will be scouting his opponent, Liquid HerO, ahead of his opponent, and hence will be able to react accordingly. Maybe he will then choose to plant an expansion if he thinks it's safe, and indeed it should be, whereas Liquid HerO is traversing the map in the wrong order and won't be getting that information until later. Cybernetic score now on the way, and indeed it looks like a command center will soon be planted either here or at its expansion location, since Keen is saving up money and not producing any more Marines, only got one out right now. So Keen feels like he can get away with a command center. Here indeed is the SCV, and that will be definitely an advantage for Keen, be able to get ahead in the economy game without getting punished for it. Liquid HerO's probe is now approaching, and we see him building a stalker back at his base, very true to form. Now getting up the ramp uncontested, and we'll see the second barracks being planted. He will also see that there are no gas yet, and will be able to glean a lot of information from this. Also seeing the third barracks, which is very interesting. It seems like based on this early expansion we will be seeing a infantry heavy, probably marine marauder push, and now that probe is obliterated. And true to form, we see that Liquid HerO follows up his opponent's move by placing a nexus of his own. Very smart indeed, but we have no more gateways, we have no more nothing really, only warp gate upgrade. And this SCV should be able to scout that, so now it's all about intelligence, mind games, and doing the correct reactions. Seems like this pylon will be the place for the future gateways, and now Keen might be willing to commit to an attack fairly soon. His barracks are finishing, and he knows he's got a window of time when he can inflict a lot of damage. The Stalker is now out and will prevent any more scouting from Keen, and I do however think that Keen managed to get a look on these two building gateways, so that should give him an estimate of the time when his Protoss opponent will have sufficient units to defend against the Marine push. So maybe he will commit to that, maybe he will more gear himself towards a mid-game strong economy, because he has an advantage, and if he can extend it he'll be in a good position. This Stalker is actually in danger, losing all of its shield and a bit of health, and of course he wants to kill this injured Marine, but Keen is definitely very good at micro, and that might not be too good an idea. Breaking down the rocks now, and it seems like indeed he will be extending his economic advantage, and I do like that. We see a robotic facility now being planted by Liquid HerO. This is playing under his old ID OGS HerO. He used to be a member of the OGS team, but has now been signed to Liquid as the first Korean citizen and player to do so, which is very interesting. By the time you're watching this, MLG Raleigh will already be over, and I'm recording this ahead of time, and you will be seeing this just after with that in mind. So I don't know how Liquid HerO will fare, but I'm sure he'll do very well and impress us all. So this is a pre-teaser for me, and for you it will be a confirmation of what you saw at MLG Rally. Now going for a quick observer, and we haven't seen a quick robotics opening from Liquid HerO yet. He utilized it on another game at Backwater Gulch a few days back, but he's not been an early robotics guy so far in this Colosseum. Now we see quite a few Marines approaching, and these sentries, they do have a lot of force fields, but Marines are perhaps better at circumventing that than other units. Nevertheless, it's only sentries remaining now as these zealots are walking into the death one at a time. More beautiful force fields and zealot support will be able to kill these forward Marines, but they still got 5 remaining and more coming in as support. This observer will be able to give Liquid HerO the extra vision he needs to position his units accordingly. 5 sentries now, but none of them with a lot of energy and 3 zealots. I also see a robotics bay, so now we will see a Colossus opening from Liquid HerO. This is the first time we actually get to witness this, and this could be quite interesting to see how he uses Colossi. I'm quite unfamiliar with Liquid HerO's style, so I'm experiencing this for the first time just as much as you do, ladies and gentlemen, and now we see him, true to form, going for full-on aggression and placing 2 beautiful force fields on the ramp, cutting apart the units and losing a few cells in the process, but more importantly preventing the infantry from connecting with the defenses here at the expansion. Nevertheless, bunkers and SCVs forces Liquid HerO to retreat. Still, he's pushing the momentum and he's forcing his opponent to react to him. Thermal lands now on the way, and another forge, rather the first forge. So we are having Colossi out. Rather, this is the first one now, more than halfway done. And the second push will be the deciding push. This is where it's all determined. Looking at the defenses here, we do see quite a few Marauders. They do have concussive shells, and we see all the infantry upgrades on the way. Combat shields, stim-pack, and attacks. Quite formidable, but if he can catch them in the open, I'd say that this early Colossi will prove most advantageous. Now starting his own attack upgrades, and we see starport building and a whole Terran infrastructure building up right here, and I doubt this factory will be used for anything else than reactor for the starport. We'll be seeing medivacs, and soon there are the Vikings. I do not think, no, he has absolutely no idea about the robotics facility or the Colossi threat, though he should anticipate it depending on how familiar he is with Liquid HerO's style. It's less than obvious these days that Protoss players will always get Colossi, so Terran players have been known to skip their Vikings in favor of medivacs and other units, which means that if you manage to hide those Colossi, you can hit them where it hurts the most before they have the proper unit composition to defend it. Instead we see ghosts, and ghosts have definitely been more and more integrated into Terran play lately. You saw that with Liquid Jinro in the last Colosseum series, ghosts being the business these days. Placing forward pylons with warpins, 2 Colossi with thermal lands, but one is exposed and it will go down very shortly, I fear. Liquid HerO with beautiful force fields again, cutting apart the units and roasting them with the thermal lands. Nevertheless, this is a precarious situation. There are not too many gateway units underneath to bolster it, and they have better upgrades. Rather, their attack upgrade will finish just now. And here he comes in from an attack at the north, 2 medivacs supporting these units. It's a game of seconds now, ladies and gentlemen. Liquid HerO has got warping pylons. He can bolster his forces, but so can Keen, and he will need to commit to this right now. However, can he do it? He's pushing down one Colossi, killing it almost immediately, but creating a beautiful funnel. But there was all the first EMP. However, the force fields did its work, and we see now more zealots being warped in. However, Liquid HerO, the longer he extends his stay without actually inflicting severe economic damage, the more susceptible to damage he will be. Now Keen has landed his factory. Will this result in a manor Hellion being built? We'll just have to wait and see, but I now see the Viking production is on their way, and he has momentarily stopped his Colossi production in favor of another observer. Having now placed his third base and second expansion here at the north, and hence being ahead in economy, we'll just have to see if Liquid HerO can extend on this advantage. He inflicted a lot of damage, as you can see. However, he did not really kill Keen or injure his economy too badly, and hence it's far from over yet. We now see that charge being constructed rather than blink. We've seen that before, and I must say I do like it. And also a Templar Archive constructed, so we'll be having the Protoss Death Ball as we know it, the late game variant taking shape. We'll see if we continue with Colossi production, but with 5 Vikings out, it might be, rather 7 now, it might be better to completely forego that and focus on a more gateway-centric composition. The Cellar Charge would definitely imply that Liquid HerO has seen his Colossi days as over. However, this is a formidable Terran Death Ball also taking shape. Whether these Vikings will actually be useful or not, we'll just have to see. If Liquid HerO can make his opponent overinvest in useless units, that's of course a given win right there. Now they're both fairly even in expansions, Liquid HerO being somewhat ahead with his third, but now is Keen planting his own and saturating it in seconds. With mules he can regain that advantage quite soon, and these are quite a few ghosts I do see here in the mix of Keen. These units are very well versed against the composition of Liquid HerO, and you see the Colossi going down in seconds from these Vikings, and I fear there are too few Zealots around. However, the force field is creating a very nice funnel for them. Liquid HerO is now forced to retreat, and the landed Vikings inflicting that extra bit of damage that makes all the difference. The Templar Archives will be destroyed, another EMP on the sentries, no more force fields, and I must say these Vikings, when not attacked, they inflict a lot of damage and just add that extra layer of hurt onto it all that will make it so difficult for the Protoss player to come back. They are now obliterated, but at the same time the Nexus will go down for Liquid HerO, warping in units at the back, but nevertheless it looks like he has lost his both bases. We see more reinforcements waiting here to further unleash the hurt upon Liquid HerO's base. I fear that our Gladiator's Reek may be close to losing a game here, ladies and gentlemen. Keen with a most formidable, and I know I use that word a lot, timing push as well as unit composition, being able to hurt the Liquid player in that small window of time when he had not been able to yet utilize his third expansion and make it suit his economy. And now I fear that even though the Vikings are lost, these marine reinforcements will be all that it takes for Keen to take this game. However, Liquid HerO fights to the end as a true champion, and I must say he has fought well, bearing down and dwindling down these forces one by one. However, it was not enough. Liquid HerO GG's out, and this was, as predicted, a quite fierce game indeed. I do hope you enjoyed it and that you'll stay tuned for the conclusion tomorrow, when we will see Liquid HerO on day 6 face another champion, and I hear that will be a most epic game indeed. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Sebastian Sjoberg. This has been GGvision TV. See you later.
Adjutant online.